already like the themes that I was talking about of like being torn between two worlds. It's really nice to show a character that's dealing with that in so many different ways that I feel like can be an isolating and very unique experience as Asian American. And Daniel's really been. I mean, he's like the godfather of the AAPI community in film
I'm
and
that
TV.
old.
Hi, I'm Sophia Rooksberry with Den of Geek here at San Diego Comic-Con International 2025, sitting in the studio with the cast of Butterfly. Welcome. Thank you for talking with me today.
Excited to be here.
So I would love to start with Reina. The show kicks off with this incredible sequence that you do. Tell me a little bit, where do we find your character as the show begins, and where does she kind of go all throughout?
In the beginning of our show, you meet Rebecca in the middle of a mission, something that she's very used to doing for Caddis under Juno's direction. And who's very evil and very great. It's revealed in the trailer that I am pursuing a target, and then I find out that it is my dad, who I thought died. And so then my whole world turns upside down, and it's really about, for Rebecca at least, the journey is about, okay, where do I belong? Am I going to be choosing this life that I've been building now for the past 9 years, where like I kind of shut off my emotions and I'm working as an assassin, or am I going to like open my heart back up to family and who I really am? And that's a really hard choice.
You mentioned the evil Juno. I'm so curious. That character is so complex with just such interesting motivations. What drew you to that character when you first read the script?
I love to play strong women, and I like that Juno has a clear sense of what she wants, and she's not going to let anybody get in the way.
And then Daniel, kicking it to you. When I think about kind of the badass spy protagonist, I think James Bond, Jason Bourne. How do you kind of look to those archetypes?
You don't think nerdy Asian man is what you're saying.
Well, I'm curious, how do you kind of make that kind of archetype your own?
It's a good question, because in some ways I can identify with them because I grew up watching people like James Bond and Jason Bourne. But on another hand, I never saw anyone who looked like me do this in America. So it was a little bit of taking what I could from the characters that I know and loved and trying to make it my own and trying to create a new archetype, something that other kids who look like me might look up to.
I've waited a long time to finish this together.
As a family.
Absolutely. That actually ties perfectly to my next question, which I'd love to ask Reina as well. What does it mean to you to be bringing this API representation to a genre that is typically more westernized, Eurocentric?
I mean, it's so exciting. I think it really means the world, especially being mixed Asian American. I feel like already like the themes that I was talking about of like being torn between two worlds. It's really nice to show a character that's dealing with that in so many different ways that I feel like can be an isolating and very unique experience as Asian American. And Daniel's really been. I mean, he's like the godfather of the AAPI community in film
I'm
and
that
TV.
old. No, but it's true. We're living in a time now, finally, where we can tell a story like this. If you tried to make Butterfly 20 years ago, no one would have bought it. No network would have put it on the air. So it's a great sign that today we have shows like ours, and we're watching TV and movies from other countries like Korea. And so I'm just feeling lucky that I'm still around to be able to enjoy this and to be working with people like Piper and Reina. Piper and I worked together a long time ago, and we're both still in the game. And now Reina's coming up, and she gets to benefit from some great times that we're living in.
Absolutely, yeah. And looking back to kind of your background and kind of coming up, you started out in the theater world. I feel like you wouldn't really expect a theater background to be helpful in this super action-packed spy thriller, but were there any unexpected ways that background kind of came into play?
Oh, very expected ways.
Yeah.
No matter what genre you're working in, what medium you're working in, the work we do as actors is the same. We're trying to find truth. That sounded pretentious. We're trying to find real, honest ways of telling a person's experience and their story. And that's what's the word I'm looking for? That's regardless of the medium, whether this man expresses his anger through action, through violence, or conversation. It's all the same. It all comes from the same place, and so that's the fun stuff for me. And as an actor, when you get to play characters from so many different backgrounds and and personal histories, that's part of the most fun of being an actor, because you get to live lives other than your own.
Absolutely, yeah. And with this show, it's a unique experience where it's been adapted from a graphic novel. How did you all kind of go about sticking to the truth of the graphic novel? I know that the graphic novelist is also a producer on the show. What were those conversations like, kind of honoring the source material?
The graphic novel author, Arash Amel, was so generous with his with the foundation of his story, and he said, "This is the story I'm looking to tell, but if you, because of who you are and the things that thematically you are interested in exploring, want to go a different direction, feel free." So he gave us his blessing, Boom gave us their blessing, and it gave our writing staff freedom to find the stories that fit our characters. And what was really nice about our showrunner, and these guys can speak to this too, is that a lot of showrunners will say, "I'm writing the character, this is my vision." But our showrunner, Ken Woodruff, actively sought out the actors' input in who their characters were. Not only because they're good actors, but our actors are smart, and they did their homework. And so it really became a collaboration. And I really think that because of Reina and Piper's participation, the characters deepened.
One of the things that was so exciting about Ken Woodruff being so open to the collaboration is fans of the graphic novel will understand like the story and the foundations, but it's expanded, and I think that's really exciting. If it's a world that you really are interested in and believe in and love, you don't want them to just like throw everything out, but when you feel the expansiveness of what they've done, you see how big this world can get. And I feel like, especially at a place like Comic-Con, the fans are the kind of fans that are like, yeah, we want to get into a big world and look around, and I think they're going to be really excited about the expansiveness of this.
They both put it so perfectly, but it really, the collaboration of it all, we got to bring so many different unique perspectives into something that maybe we hadn't thought about before. Or, we'd give each other like suggestions and kind of be like, what do you think of this? And give each other ideas. And I think that gave us a lot of perspective to work with.
Absolutely. Well, I am so excited for the world to see this show airing on August 13th on Prime Video. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, look at this applause.